Hey everybody, if you're watching this video, you just followed up from Dr. Aro's welcome message, and you are now getting ready to find out what needs to be done to come back to school in terms of safety, procedures, and protocols. So you heard from Dr. Aro, who is one of our co-principals. Dr. Ari will be seeing you soon as you get here, and the rest of the admin team, including Ms. Karen's, Ms. Martin, and myself, are SLHS APs are all really excited to get to see you. This video is intended to help you know what to do when you get to school. Where do I go? What do I do? How do I move around? And what happens when I get home? All these things will be covered in this video, so please make sure you're watching carefully, and you can always reach out to our team if there's any questions about anything. In part one, we're going to talk about what happens before coming to school. Some action items that are really important are for you to begin to do the health screening every night before coming to school. The screening opens at 7 p.m. on Parent Square, and when you sign in with your student SLUSD account, you should be able to access on the right-hand side the button to do the daily screening. Please try to do this before coming to school every day, as this will help us generate a list to make check-in at the beginning of the day much smoother than it would be if we had to screen you live on the time you come to campus. When you are getting ready to pack for campus, please make sure you have a fully charged Chromebook. A personal device is okay, but we recommend bringing a Chromebook from SLUSD because we don't want you to accidentally damage or misplace your own device. If you're needing a device, we'll talk later in this video about how to do that. Make sure you also have a mask. This is a must-have once you're on campus, so keep that packed into your bag every day. Any materials that are required by your teacher, and if you have PE, we highly recommend that you come appropriately dressed, as there will be no changing in the time you are on campus. The locker rooms will not be open. It's also a good idea to have notebooks or binders with paper and any writing tools you need. The more you have equipped, the less likely we'll need to worry about sharing materials or finding materials. So once you come to school, when should you come and where should you go? Remember that the hybrid bell schedule is shifting a little bit. Zero period is still starting at the beginning at 7:25, 8:10, and period 2 is happening from 8:20 to 9:35 a.m. For either of those periods, if you're checking in for the first time this day, make sure that you're going to the south parking lot gate, which is going to be sorted by grade. This is for the main campus, or off of the 138th Avenue gate for the FTK campus. We'll show you some maps in a sec. Period 4 will continue from 9:45 to 11, and then at period 6 from 11:10 to 12:25 p.m. Students will then be dismissed to go directly home. Please remember, for classroom locations, for those of you who are not familiar with our campuses or have not spent a lot of time on campuses or just forgot, the FTK campus is where your world languages classes, so Spanish, Mandarin, French, and math classes will be housed. If you have Mr. Rosenberg, he's actually in 2 different departments, so you will also go to FTK to see his classroom. Just figured you might need to know this. So here's our main campus. Remember that if you're coming to Maine, you are going to be checking in by those tennis court gates on the south parking lot, where you will walk to the check-in tables, which will be underneath the solar panels. There are going to be some red X's that'll help you know where to go. If you're on FTK, the drop-off area is the little inlet where you see those cars parked on this image off of 138th Avenue. You'll walk through those gates, and the check-in will be right before the building, underneath the lunch table area. From there, you'll walk into the building using the back entrance. Okay, so we just talked about arrival. When you're coming to campus, make sure that you are waiting to be checked in at your check-in area. Maintain social distancing from others and avoid physical contact. And once you're at campus, you should have your mask on and over your nose and mouth the whole time you are on campus. Some questions that you may be wondering: what do I do if I don't have a Chromebook? Well, if you email us, you can get some help in getting a Chromebook, and we will make sure to have Chromebooks ready on campus in case you do not already have one checked out to you. If you get to campus and you need one, like you forgot one or yours breaks, we will make sure to have lots of extra masks in stock, both at the check-in tables and in the classrooms and in our office. So lots of masks are available, but help us out by bringing yours if you can remember to do so. Now, how do we move from campus to campus and around each campus? So there's going to be some protocols, procedures, some images that are helpful here for you to know what to do. You're going to see some signs, but we'll get to those later. If you're on main campus, the check-in area, which is underneath the solar panels, will have a one-way direction towards the main building, the science wing, the AEC, the Arts Education Center, or any other space that you need to go to. All along those blue arrow routes, you're going to see campus supervisors and staff members who will be helping to guide you. And you can always ask them, where am I going, if you don't know where a building or a classroom is. Notice that all of these buildings also have a one-way entrance. That means that every building has a designated way in and a designated way out. So as an example, each of these three buildings that have a hallway, main campus above in the U shape, the science wing, which is in the middle, and the Arts Education Center, the AEC, will only have a one-way path through. And you'll see arrows that will help guide you throughout the building. Something else to know is that some buildings which have multiple floors, like the main campus and the science wing, will only have one up-way stairwell. That means if you walk in from the first floor and you're going into campus and you need to go to the second floor on the main building, you will only be able to take the stairs up as soon as you arrive. From there, any other stairwell you encounter as you move in one direction can take you down the stairwells. And then, as we said before, there is only one exit. So imagine having a classroom here on the first floor. My next classroom's on the second floor. We're going to ask you to loop all the way around, exit out, come back in the building, and then go up to get to the next classroom. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how this might look once you're on campus for a visual. Walking in from the tennis court gates, we're going to make our way over to the check-in area. This area will have tables and staff members. Once you finish your screening and we see, oh, you're good to go, let's imagine you're headed to main building, which is coming up ahead. From the main building, you'll notice a 6-foot sticker, which is reminding you not to bunch up once you get in the building. And then once you get in here, you'll have to make a choice. If you're on the second floor, you'll notice that there's one stairwell off to the right, which will lead you up, or you can continue down the hallway straight. Let's pretend we have a stairway up need because we are going to a second floor class. Here's a bathroom. You'll notice that every bathroom has markings as well. Only 2 people will be allowed. So I'm going to go to my second floor class, continue around, and then as you move through the building, all other stairways you can see are only for down. Now let's pretend it's the end of the day and I've finished up. Now I'm going to find the nearest down stairwell. I'm going to exit out and go down these stairs to the main exit. On main campus, the only exit out of the buildings to leave campus are going to be those doors right by the library. Here they are for us to see right here. So this is what happens if you need to transition to the other campus or if you're leaving home for the day. Okay, so next up, what we'd like to do is talk about the FTK campus. We know that we're checking in off of the 138th Avenue gates and entering to the back side of the building. Now, the building itself is very unique because there are 3 stairwells. Once you walk in, on your left, middle, and right of the building will be 3 staircases. The only way up to make sure we have one-way movement is through the central staircase. If you need to go to a different level or exit out of the building, please go down the side staircases. So if I'm going up to the second floor, I have a class, I'm going to go to that class, and then leaving, I will not go down the middle staircase. I will go out to the sides and then out towards Bancroft. That's the main exit to leave campus. So to review, your main building entrances are right here, the C Hall, Science Wing entrances here, and the AEC, which is off to the side, is here. To leave the campus, there's only one exit. This is by the library. For FTK, the only exit out of campus will be the Bancroft doors on the FTK building. Now, if you're moving between campuses, you may be familiar with this if you're a previous student, but if you're new to this process, this is going to follow something similar to other years. Moving from main and FTK and back is one-way flow. If you're going from the main campus, we're going to ask you to walk along the side opposite of main campus, along Bancroft. From here, you would walk around to 138th and enter through those doors. FTK students who are going to Main will go out the Bancroft doors, walk to the corner, and from here, there will be a campus supervisor to guide you across the diagonal walk to go back towards the south line so you can get back into main campus. Campus supervisors will be at these entrances as well to make sure that you know where to go or ask questions about how to move. So notice there is generally one-way flow. Please note the science wing exit is not a main exit. This is only for accessibility needs, and that's where our accessibility ramp is, but you should be exiting through the main building by the library. Okay, other things to note while you're in the building, please make sure to mind any wait here signs. That means that there's a space that we want people spaced out in. Maybe it's for the bathroom or maybe it's for an office, but please be mindful of waiting there if the space is already too full. You're also going to see these stickers, which are going to remind you to stay 6 feet apart. And in any buildings with hallways, you will see one-way arrows. Remember that staircases are one way up or one way down, not both ways. Your classrooms are also going to be set up in a very specific way. Students, as you can see in this classroom, are going to be set 6 feet apart. Even though there are all the desks in this classroom set up, not every desk will be used. And this teacher in particular left gaps where seats are not placed to make sure that 6 foot distance is maintained. Now, for some teachers who have multiple students across periods, they may put a nameplate on their desk. They will have assigned seats for you to make sure that you are using the same desk every time you come to campus. And as a reassurance, all classrooms and surfaces are wiped down and sprayed and thoroughly cleaned every day. Okay, as a reminder, bathroom procedures, because people will need to use the bathroom, 2 people maximum will be allowed to use the bathroom at a time. Please wash your hands frequently after using the bathroom. And if there are more than 2 people, please utilize these blue stickers to wait while there's someone in the bathroom, or if there's more than 2 people who need to use the bathroom, to wait outside if you're that 3rd person. Okay. Now, exiting campus, remember that the main exit you will be using on main campus is through the library doors over here on the main building. If you're getting picked up, you'll have this loop where people can drive up and grab you and pick you up and go home. Otherwise, you should be walking home. FTK, you'll leave through the Bancroft doors, and the pickup area is the same as the drop-off area where this little parking inlet for cars is. Okay. During pickup, please remember that students should maintain physical distancing. Students are expected to go immediately home every day. That means we're really asking you not to hang out in the plaza, not to hang out around the edges of campus. To maintain safety, please head home, whatever that means, whether you're walking, going to the bus stop, driving, please head straight there and avoid congregating. So let's go over some specific scenarios that you may be wondering about. Some of these include what happens if someone gets sick on campus. If this happens, a student's parents or guardians will be contacted immediately and confirm whether they can go home. If so, they'll just leave campus and go home. Otherwise, they will be kept in an isolation room monitored by a staff member until they are able to be picked up. If someone isn't wearing a mask, what happens? Or following expectations, what happens? So we will be doing our best to redirect students, give reminders if students are not wearing their masks or not following expectations. But just keep in mind that if students cannot positively change actions, they may be escorted off campus and parents and guardians will be notified. If this happens a lot, then students may not be invited back to campus. So just keep those in mind in terms of why we would do this anyway. We want to keep the whole campus safe and maintain our spacing. Okay, this was a pretty lengthy video, but hopefully it provided you with enough information with what it's going to look like when you get to campus and where do you go and how do you move. Remember that there's also going to be staff members throughout your day during all your transitions who can help you out. So you can ask anybody, an administrator, a supervisor, a teacher. We will help you out. And if you have any questions leading up to that point, please reach out to any of us on the admin team. Our emails are here, and we will be available to answer the questions you have to the best of our ability. We can't wait to see you soon. Have a great day.